Yep, it's good.
All right. Guys, thank you. 3 on 1. This is a first for me. So I'll try to keep it all together and
Teaming up on you.
equally. I like when people team up on me. It's good. Usually there needs to be a team. The 3 of you obviously come from all different backgrounds in regards to your work in some form or fashion. Yourself, you were kind of working while you were at college, helping your pops out. Kenny, you were doing the Jersey Mike's out right out of college, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Working for guys who had a couple dozen Jersey Mikes, correct?
Yeah, I think they're in the 40s now.
Yeah,
So, killing it.
Good guys. Matt, I met one of him. Yeah, met one of them the other night. Good guy. And then Danny, you said, I want to get in, start building some decks and get into that business. So you were kind of off and running and doing your own thing as a young guy.
Yeah, just kickstart. I knew I wanted to work for myself for sure.
Yeah.
Right out of college. So.
Yeah. What makes you say that? I'm going to jump around a little bit right here, but
yeah, sure.
What makes you say you knew you wanted to work for yourself?
I worked for a lot of different people, not just my father. So like we all started working for my dad in the business, but like we'd hustle all the time in the summer doing little gigs. We first started doing like lemonade stands and
selling ice cream.
Yeah, selling ice cream.
Got to start somewhere.
Yeah. And we were little too, like 14 years old with an ice cream box on Lavalette, ringing a bell. So it's like.
Did you make money?
Yeah, cash.
We were making a lot of
hustle.
money.
4th of July.
So this is how you guys saved up to buy your dad out.
Yeah.
You guys are some sharp entrepreneurs. I'm jealous.
15 years old, lugging ice cream on the beach for 6 hours. You walk away with $200 and you think like you're on top of the world.
Yeah. That's some hard work.
Yep. No.
So
no weekends, but yeah. So that's just like starting working for people. Then throughout college, I worked for 1-800-GOT-JUNK. Awesome company. Loved working for them. But I always like have a hustle. Like I always have a drive, and it's just like you work so hard for other people, and you don't get the result for yourself. So I was like, I can always work hard, but other people are reaping my reward.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of wanted to reap my own reward.
That.
Yeah, absolutely. But that was my mentality throughout college, right? So right off the bat, I started working for myself throughout college instead of for other people who just kind of get on top of you. You'd see things in a different view and want to do it your way. And like I was a little hard-headed and was like, all right, well, I could do it. I could just compete against you and do it my way. And I can. I believed in myself that I would be able to do it better than what they thought.
Yeah.
So,
and that's a good mentality to have. I see that you got that killer instinct in you. Be cautious of that sometimes too, because it has gotten myself into some trouble over the years.
Yeah.
I still sometimes, want to come out like a lion and slap someone in the neck. But, that's a great trait to have, and that's how you keep winning. But I'm jumping around. I want to talk about Duraplex to begin with.
Please.
How long has this company been around? When did your dad establish it?
So I'll take this one, I guess.
Yep.
We'll take turns. So 1972, he started it. So this is our 50th year. Originally,
Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah.
He's 50 years old.
Actually, when I go to clients and I say, I'm one of the owners, and I go through how long we were, they're like, well, you're not.
They're doing the math in their head real quick.
Yeah.
And then I say my father.
Maybe he can look 40.
And they're like, your dad? How old's your dad? But yeah. So he came down originally from South Orange. He moved down here. He had been in the business before this, in the construction business. So in the 70s, it was not much work, and kind of similar to Dan's story there. He started working for himself and started out of the back of his garage, grew the business. We're at our location now in Brick. We moved there in the 80s that he got that location. And then as the business grew, he took on a partner in the 90s. And was with him, his partner, until we took over. We took over 2 years ago now.
So most people don't realize, and without getting myself in trouble with compliance, but it's very hard to succeed a business. I don't know the exact stats off the top of my head right now, but when you're passing a small business from one generation to the next, I think it's like around 50%.
It's a very, yes.
third generation, and to be around that long of a
Even
period
lower.
of time, the probability of it succeeding is very, very low. So it's pretty cool. Props to your dad, your family, and you guys.
Yeah, and to be honest, there he didn't want us to take over actually.
Yeah.
So we.
Why?
It's hard work owning a business.
Yeah, he didn't want you to have the stresses he did
There's
over the years.
benefits,
Yeah.
for sure. But there's a lot of stress. When it's good, it's good, and when it's bad, it's bad.
Yeah.
You're the last one to get paid. Sometimes that money runs out.
Yeah.
Never get paid.
And we all grew up, with him as a business owner, and I don't ever remember thinking like we were not going to have our next meal or anything like that. But now that I have the books, and I look back at some times, especially 2008, I'm like, I don't know how he did that with kids in the house, and that's a lot of stress.
You just do it.
You think
You just
back,
do it. Yeah.
Yeah, you think back as a kid, because like you said, you can see the numbers now, and like obviously as a kid you don't understand that or get that or anything. And my dad always had the mentality. I remember as a kid, and so many kids, sitting down at the dinner table and just always making sure that everyone else was eating and fed and had seconds and things like that. And it's not saying like there was no food left.
Yeah. I know.
But he just had that mentality of like he was the leader, so everyone else he ate last.
Mm-hmm.
And you think back to what that means now, so that you can understand what he was going through as running a business through all those tough
Yeah, you
financial
start to go,
times.
wow, I feel bad.
Like it's amazing what my dad accomplished, and how he got through those times, and then to see him sacrifice as a father on the other end of that, just really thankful for that.
Yeah, it starts to make you feel like, wow, like I want to
Yeah.
make sure I live up to half of what he did and
Yeah.
provide for my family. And let's talk about your family for a minute, because I just found this out. You guys are 3 of
Magic
12.
number. Yeah.
Like 12 kids.
Big
Six-
dozen, baby.
6 your parents had naturally, and then the other 6
Together, yeah.
they adopted.
2 adopted, and then 4 together.
Yeah. So it's a
Big
blended
joint
family.
family, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But,
That's
Full
a lot
house,
of kids.
Full house.
Yeah.
And
We all
in
like each other
2008,
too.
yeah.
Yeah,
A
that's
little bit here
Yeah.
and there.
that's a hard
Yeah.
thing.
6 kids in one house in Toms River in
I
2008.
think in 08 it was
In 08,
6,
yeah.
and then at the most I think it was 9 in the house. 9 kids in the house at one time.
Probably summers when.
Where'd the 12 number come from?
Yeah.
Where'd
What
it come
was it, like
from?
lucky number?
No, I'm saying like 12 is, at one point they had 12 total kids, correct?
Yes.
Not all in the
but
house at
not
once.
all-
So,
Yes.
'cause
so
Yes.
Yeah.
age
There's
differences.
got to be some years
Yeah.
in between.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, you never know. You never know.
No one got married till till last one was out. Yeah.
So that's a pretty big stress. But where I like to counter that and think of the silver lining and focus on the path, right? As we're coming down a mountain, we want to focus on the open path, not the trees we could take our heads off with as we're snowboarding or skiing. There's a lot of problems in corporate America in 2008. People's jobs are just, you can't manipulate
Yeah.
tax. You're a W-2 employee.
Yeah.
People were sitting there and, their wives were getting fired. Let's say they had a $125,000 salary. And these scenarios are real for me. I started in 2007. So my first year was
Great first
essentially
year.
2008. And the husband would have, let's call it $1 million in his 401k. And what most people don't realize, the maximum loan you could take on a qualified plan like that is $50,000. So he's going, I got $1 million in here. All my money's locked up. My wife just lost a job making
Yeah.
125 grand a year. How am I going to live? So there's just as many stresses, if not more, being an employee of somebody else because you don't have control. Guess what? Your dad can write off massive losses that year. You got no taxes for a couple of years. You can manipulate cash flow. So I always like to try to point out the positives
Yeah, that's a great point.
as a business owner.
Because you have the control.
Yes,
And I think that's where that two-sided coin comes from. It's a blessing and a curse. It's,
Yep, absolutely.
You have the control.
Yeah.
That means you have the control.
Yeah.
So.
You could do good with this control, or you
yeah,
could do bad.
and so
That's
your
all.
decisions matter.
Yeah. Everyone.
a lot. So yeah, but that is a good point. And he started, like I said, in the 70s, which is a similar scenario where and so he had kind of, that's where he started, and then he was a great juggler for cash flow purposes. So 08 was I mean, he lost, 50% of the revenue in that first year, and that hurts.
Yeah,
it hurts a lot.
big time.
And so to go through that, that's when I graduated high school in 08. So I was in college, and then, I would get the phone call like, yeah, this installer's not with us anymore because it's not enough work, and so I'm hearing this kind of like away from the business. But for him to be able to juggle those,
Moments in time.
moments and then keep the business where a lot of other people didn't,
Yeah, if you were too much of a fat cat and you were too levered, you have that type of contraction. You have to let things go. And 2008 for a lot of people, small business owners, when you have big overhead and you don't have a lot of liquidity stash and you weren't good at extracting value out of the business along the way, and a lot of people aren't, right? Because we're always on the gas pedal.
Exactly.
Let's do another Fireside.
And that's the thing you think about, right? What's going on right now? Like, obviously, we're kind of on the threshold of like some scary times with just how
with
rapid.
Biden and the boys.
What was that?
With Biden and the boys.
Yeah, the boys.
100%. The
Or the girls.
Biden inflation.
Yeah.
But I mean, we see
Davos
it firsthand
inflation.
with like manufacturing and stuff, like just how brutal it
Windows,
still
what?
is.
6-9 months to get?
Windows aren't too bad.
Yeah.
It's the entry doors and some other products, but it's mainly the price increases every other month. Just, I mean, we look at our pricing, we're just like, you can't like believe it every single time you have to redo it. 2 years ago, you could tell a customer, yeah, that price would be good for a year. And even if you did have a price increase, it doesn't really, it's
It was- the
margins are very
1-2%.
Yeah, small.
Yeah, you're gonna absorb it for just
Every
to keep
other
the
month,
customer.
you're looking at 7 to 10% easy on aluminum products, other metal products, steel,
Different vinyls, yeah.
PVC, Trex, windows, fiberglass, just like everything. I mean, we had a major manufacturer. We don't do any storm windows, but they can't get aluminum, so they just had to completely cut storm windows out of their production. It was either storm doors or storm windows. You had to cut one of them. So it's just crazy stuff 2 years ago that if you were bringing that up now, you're just like, that doesn't make any sense. You're crazy.
Yeah, it's a difficult thing to juggle. How are you guys attacking it? And I'll go with you from your end. You're doing some of the stuff on the ground, running the projects. How are you guys tackling it from your end to make sure that you're taking care of these? Your margin of error is small. What are you doing to make sure that you're running as efficient as possible?
Biggest thing is, because they email you. So watch those emails, see what the price increases are, and then Anthony does a lot of, we'll sit down, make those adjustments right off the bat, so that, because when you sell a job, we don't see that product until 12 weeks later at the minimal.
Yeah.
At the minimal. So like within that time, if you don't order it right away, there could be 2 other price increases.
What
so
are
now
you
you
doing
sold it
on
at
the,
what you.
What are you doing on the job, or what are you doing, building the deck?
Let me answer this. Because I think when we first took over, there's like this, we're all trying to find our place and understand and all those things.
Of course.
And you're, evening out, all the hiccups. What we really came to probably in the last year, minimizing those mistakes. And in a business like this, when you make a mistake, it's a mistake.
Yeah.
You're hurting.
Yeah.
Knowing what guys are masters at certain things, and
Meaning
with
your
our business,
subcontractors.
Yeah, knowing the strengths and weaknesses
So,
of every person that's in
yeah,
the
you
business.
know that. All right, this guy, he's gonna do all the doors. This guy, he's gonna do all the windows. This guy's gonna do all the decks. He's gonna work on, when we have siding with this type of house, that guy's gonna do it. This type of material we're working with, that guy's gonna do it. You cut down on so many mistakes.
Now, how do you guys other people, right? This is about getting nuggets, right? This is about inspiring other small business owners that want to buy their dad's business or their mom's business. How are you guys figuring out, and I know it's a struggle for everybody. I had a partner for a long time who was a great guy and did a lot of great things for me, but it's hard in a partnership, right? You're at different points in your life. How are you trying to find whose role is what, right? Who's going to help us run the most efficient and effective, especially when margins are shrinking?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's best with family, and maybe somebody won't agree with me with that. But because we've already had that conflict resolution growing up, we're brothers. We're decently close in age.
Beat the crap out of each other.
You know, I mostly beat the crap out of them.
Now we do the opposite.
Should we have this? Should we get this going? Right
Yeah.
I need some payback. Long time.
No. That
Ken's
time-
hydrated over here.
That stage of life is behind us now. But because with family, you can in the same conversation scream and yell at each other and then go have a beer together.
Yeah, you're over it.
You're honest with each other as well. Whereas with even with like talking to a boss who's not family, you're stepping on eggshells. When I was working with my dad, I could yell at him. He'd fire me, and then he'd hire me next
Not
day.
to cut you off, and all those things are great. I'm saying, how are you guys finding your roles, right? How is that
So-
coming?
The first year was actually like there was some trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
Like we didn't come in just like, nope, we know what we're doing, we know how everything works. Anthony knew how everything was set up. He knew all the books.
I knew where I
He knew
wanted them to
marketing.
be.
Right. But
It's changed some.
yeah,
Yeah.
like for instance, Kenny does more than just like what we would anticipate of him doing.
Yeah.
And that's because like he had to take that initial 2-3 months, learn the product, learn all the materials, learn different type of construction, and then now he knows it where he could actually do that himself. It's not just on me. And then I'm trying to learn some sales tactics,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go out, how can I sell better?
Mm-hmm.
How can I have a little bit more interpersonal intelligence? And so we've worked, and that's kind of figuring it out. Like,
Yeah, that first
I know
year, I would
I
say.
know my strengths
Yeah.
right off the bat, but how can I contribute that?
Yeah.
And how can you learn a little bit
So-
of what I have?
And delegating that.
Yeah, exactly.
We know that his strength is the books, the product, the
Mm-hmm.
brains behind all that stuff. My strength is the people, organizing, firing people. And his
he's
is
that Trump.
boot-
He's
his
the
is
Trump, baby.
his is boots on the ground and dealing with customers and things like that.
Yeah.
And even when you can sense one person's getting a little lazy with what their strength is and what they need to be doing, we can have that conversation.
Accountability, yeah.
And
Yeah.
we can,
Yeah.
if we need to get down each other's
We
throat
can
a
call
little
each other
bit,
out.
it's okay.
That's good though.
But you mentioned firing, and that's kind of been like where he's growing in.
Fired.
I like firing people too.
So that first year, I think was more of us figuring out our roles in the
Yeah,
business.
where do
and-
I fit? Where do I add
and,
value?
and the
Right.
partnership and
Yeah.
how we're going to grow the business and we're all equal in the partnership, and
that's great.
And that was recommended to us. That's not how I imagined it, setting it up.
Because if not,
But I think it's the best thing.
eventually what happens, especially I could tell you guys are
There's no animosity.
true good family, and you were raised properly by your mom and dad, and like, you're totally genuine. You can feel that off you. If not, no matter how good of people you are, no matter how you were raised, you have an odd partner that's a family member in a business, it's going to be a problem at some point in your life, because
absolutely.
Yep.
the wife's going to be sitting at home
100%.
and she's going to be saying, "What the hell? Your brother's got a new car, and Anthony
Yep.
went away, and
We literally just had this conversation the other day.
And no offense to the wives,
No,
I'm sure your wives are awesome.
They are.
You're like, who knows this guy runs?
edit.
Leave it in there.
Yeah.
Listen, I tell people all the time, a happy husband means you have a husband.
That's right. We just talked about that the other day. We're like, family is awesome, and we have a really, really tight bond. But at the end of the day, it doesn't feed your family.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're not doing your part, you're really doing a disservice to everyone else too. It's not
Yeah.
just
It's
that
that
one
accountability.
person.
You feel that.
His family is relying on that too. Like we
Yep.
all are part of that. We
Together.
all work together to make that happen for everybody.
And you'll feel that even
Yeah.
more when you get married and have some kids. The kid thing really shifts your mind.
Yeah, I could tell. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
so
it's
many nieces and nephews. He already knows.
16 nieces and nephews.
And
yeah.
you're young. You don't have the same expenses as them, so they're probably jealous. You get to go out and do different things, right?
I allocate my money definitely in different ways.
Yeah. Don't forget to save though too.
That's
Save for a
that's
rainy
actually
day.
where I get to
Preach
put
it,
it mostly.
man.
That's
Don't
where I get to
forget
mostly
to
put
save.
it.
If I
Yeah.
had that money,
Yeah.
I'm 20.
Yeah, it's cool to see the three of you, and you're all, I could tell, good guys and three different personalities, and I think you always find your way. And I've been told that by many mentors and people I've observed in business that have partnerships, especially family.
Yeah.
So let's move this along. What are you guys looking to really accomplish with Duraplex, right? What does Duraplex look like? And give us a little detail. Actually, I'm sorry. Let's start with this.
All right.
Give it an exact detail of what Duraplex does for people who don't know who you are.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ken.
So we do
He's got that vision.
windows, siding, entry doors, and it's not your typical stuff. I mean, the entry doors that we sell are all custom tailored to exactly what the customer wants.
It's not a factory
Everything
door.
down
No,
to the hinges,
no.
to the handle, to, everything. You're not going to find it at Home Depot or anything like that.
I've seen some of those on your Instagram. They look
yeah,
sweet.
they look great doors.
Beautiful.
I'm trying to get a good deal on my side, man. Hoping this gives you about like
We'll
10
see how much
deals.
this blows up. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like how many deals I got to get you to get the hookup.
case per window. It was right here.
Bourbon. Oh man.
So yeah, we do window siding doors and decks, and then we've been tapping into a lot more of kind of like more of, you could say, a smaller addition.
Yeah, so the term is
Being in this area.
sunrooms,
Yeah.
but that's a term that kind of like, well, what does that mean? Is it like the
It could be very elaborate sunroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly,
And
yeah.
so we do it's basically an addition without a kitchen or a bathroom,
Yeah.
which is in the business we call that a stick build. It just means
Yeah.
you're using
No
2x4s.
real plumbing needed.
So no plumbing, electric is in there.
Service of heat and air.
But
potentially.
exactly, if you
Yeah.
want to put heat in there, you can. Then it would be considered an addition. The reason why it's a sunroom is because there's not heat tied into the home. That's just kind of the semantics in Jersey.
Yeah.
So it's not like the old like tin can that you see at the retirement villages,
Yeah,
right?
no.
You know, that white
Foam core.
Foam core.
Oh, you're making it look like it matches the house.
so
we
exactly.
handle the
Blend
whole
it right in,
process.
yeah.
That's what we try to do, is make it look like it was built with the home. And because of that, then you're able to do whatever you want in there. You want to
Yeah.
hang shelving, you got 2x4 framing behind there. You can screw right into those studs. You can hang that 80-inch TV if you want. You know, it's
Yeah.
fine.
It's like a real structure to the house.
So
house.
it's
Yeah.
exactly, and you can use that space for what you need.
And are you guys doing a lot in that space? Is that something you've been doing more of?
Well,
Did a
we've
couple
we've
so
always
far.
done sunrooms. We've done more and more. I think there's been more of a call for it, where we kind of want a space that either an outdoor space, or if we don't have, like what you're set up here is where you have a patio, and what you have here. If you wanted more enclosed, more of like a 4-season.
I want both. I gotta move.
Let's build it.
You need more property.
Yeah. I'm kind of stuck. I got a pool and a garden.
They make really cool things that you can put over the pool. We don't
Yeah.
do that, but I've seen them.
So, predominantly as of right now, it's the doors, the windows, and the siding.
the stuff on the outside of the house. The skin of the home is what we're changing.
And where do you guys see this going, right? And I know you're doing the decks as well. Where do you guys see your focus?
I mean, when we took over, we already discussed, we don't get like everything nitty gritty, but I mean, we've pretty much doubled the business since, the last 2 years.
And if you're okay with it, what type of revenues are you guys doing? Because I like this to be inspiring. I like this to be inspiring to young builders, right? Let's say the young guy that's like you, he's working for somebody.
It
I mean,
Kickstarter,
it's not,
then you get
it's
somewhere,
not
yeah.
like with our competitors and
So-
stuff, it's nothing close to that, but
we'll tell you our success story.
Yeah,
there.
it is.
I mean, we
This
took
is
over,
your commercial.
Yeah, we took over our dad's business, and some people think like, oh, then you were like, you were given the
You were
business,
given something,
right?
no,
and we
Okay.
bought
I inherited
we
problems.
bought it from him.
So
Yeah.
we did buy it from him, and he got his price.
He did raise 12 kids, so
he
he,
did.
deserves
Hey,
it.
man, hey, he was like, I'm gonna get you in the end.
It's more than fair. He deserves
He's
every
no dummy.
penny of
He's
it.
been setting you guys up the whole time.
He's
But
like, did you eat yet?
Yeah.
the way that we were able to take over the business is, and the way that we were able to afford it is because it had a lot of debt before, and that's mostly still from
Oh, wait.
08 basically.
There's
and
so many business
all that
owners like that.
juggling. And so we took over, a business that on the books was not healthy, was surviving,
Yeah.
still in survival mode. And to get out of that, I would say that my dad could have done it, but he was, what, 73 now?
He's
74.
70. No, he's 75 now. He was 73 when we took
73
I'm sure
then.
he could have done it, but
73
So,
years
to
old,
have
man.
the energy
To
to
have
dig
the
out
energy
that
at
hole.
73, and that's basically, he's like, it's time for me to go. And because of that, that's, honestly, that's how we were able to take over the business. So
Yeah.
we dug out of that hole. That was our first year, and that's kind of,
Yeah,
that was
paying
our
down bad
focus.
debt, yeah.
Is we need to be debt free, and so thankfully we're debt free. And it was
That's a big accomplishment.
it was a big chunk.
You free up a lot of cash flow.
So and we've doubled the business from when we took it over. So
That's
debt
awesome,
free
man.
and doubled.
And we draw, I mean, in that time frame too, just with the mentality of where the business is going, to go back to where do you see yourself going? I mean, we dropped 4 vendors, hopefully soon to be 5, but we dropped 4 vendors so far in the last 2 years just because the quality wasn't there. And
Yeah, the
our
service.
mindset is that we're not gonna sell customers stuff that we wouldn't put in our homes. And if it costs a little bit more money, the customer is going to be so much happier at the end of the day, spending a little bit more and getting so much more life out of the product. And it goes to show like what we stand behind. That's for accounts that have been with my dad for 20 plus years, to have that shift when we took over, switching over to just better product and better service. That's a really big change, and you're kind of burning those bridges with relationships with people. But at the end of the day, like I said before,
Nothing
that doesn't
stays
feed
the
your
same
family.
forever. Yeah. So you were finishing up on the vision of the business and kind of how you guys have taken over and some of the changes that you have brought to the business for all the positives.
Yeah.
And just to comment on that, people expect. You have a new generation taking over. They know changes are coming.
Yeah.
And they may be for the better, or for the worse for them and their situation. But obviously you guys made the changes that were needed and necessary, and you guys have doubled the business and paid down debt. So I think you're doing something right.
Yeah.
When you talk about building a business based around, right, a housing market, and what I pay attention to is we actually have a lack of houses right now, right?
Yeah.
So in my mind, when I'm looking for the path, not the trees, and looking for the silver lining, there's a lot of houses that need siding, right? My house was built by Jack Taylor in '97. The bathrooms are redone, the kitchens are redone. The siding, right, for someone like me who's OCD, it needs to be swapped. The roof needs to be swapped. So there's a lot of homes like mine or older that all need updating on their exterior skin, as you called it, right? Do you guys look at a certain sector of the market and say, hey, we want to be here, they can afford a certain level of product, or are you going for the new builds? How are you guys attacking this current market?
We mostly do rework. New builds are kind of it's really a different market, and it makes sense when you really think about it, because with a new build, price is king. They don't care how much energy efficiency product they have on your house. They're not living in it. So the windows that you see on new builds, they keep us in business.
Yeah.
Because we're replacing those.
Like the factory Anderson that are like...
it's,
Right.
they look great on day 1. Year 5, you might be calling me.
Yeah.
And which is cool. Again, it keeps me in business. Like that's good. But if we've worked with some small builds, not like, I wouldn't say builders where you're doing like a community or something, because you're doing a lot of volume, and $10 a window, that might make or break that build.
Yeah.
So we mostly do remodels, and I like it. I don't know.
I mean,
It's different.
If the homeowner was educated enough buying a new construction house, it would be a completely different world.
Well, they don't know. They just see,
they don't know.
They just see the new
Yeah.
kitchen.
Right off the bat.
They just see the new
The steel
siding.
door, it's just like, being in this world now, and I'm still just a rookie being in it 2 years, but being in this world now, you're looking at every single thing and you're just like, no, like you just spent all this
There's a lot
money.
to know.
But
Yeah.
and that's what happens later down the road. They start kicking themselves. But in that situation, that buyer doesn't have any control over that. It's
Yeah.
all the builder, and the builder ultimately, like you said,
He's trying to make his
I don't want
margin.
to say they don't care,
Yes.
but they're they're building a ton of houses and they have a really tight budget.
Economy of scale. They got to
So,
run. They got to do the
it's
numbers.
kind of like what you have to do to survive. But
So you guys are looking to be targeted mainly in the remodel business, and you know what? I think you bring a lot of people joy to that, right? They have a house that they love the location, but now they're like, oh, my siding's beat up. Maybe I have some holes in it, or it's cracked, or it's faded. You know, to be able to come in and revamp from an economy standpoint inside, helping the house run efficiently with air conditioning and heat, and having good doors and windows. But also just from an aesthetic position with the windows and the siding. That's
it's amazing. Yeah, that's why I like it, because you're
bringing them joy.
It's like that completed project is even more. Even building from scratch, you're like, yeah, I built this. That's cool. But like we'll do homes, and it's Jersey, so you have homes that are 100 years old. You have homes that have 3 layers of siding on it, which you shouldn't do.
Really?
It's
They
like
have
roofing.
that?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
oh, we're taking out
Well,
a
like
house
scary
right now,
stuff.
same thing.
Asbestos siding?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
asbestos, then like
Wood
vinyl,
shake on top
then,
of it, vinyl on
then
top of
another
that, or
vinyl.
aluminum in there, and then you're
Oh,
like,
it's crazy.
well, that's why your windows are 3 feet into the house, because you got 6 layers of siding there.
Let's start over.
So yeah, we would rip all that off. But it's such a transformation, and that's what's cool is you can take this home that was built in 1960s, and it has that feel to it, and then you're gonna get that update. You get that that Pinterest look, to a point. Some people show me a ranch and they
You on
want
Pinterest a lot?
at
On
my,
Instagram?
The $100,000
absolutely.
remodel with
You
the
know,
wedding
$20
board?
budget.
You have a wedding board on Pinterest? That's my wife. I met her. She's like, look at my wedding board. I'm like,
I'm getting married again.
no, I know what you're saying, man.
But-
You get that updated look that everybody
Yeah,
is
and-
desiring.
and you still have the character of the home at the same times too.
Yeah.
You're not losing that. I'm in point too. So homes here. You see them knock down and build this big
Yeah,
house.
Brand new house.
And there's a place for that too. But sometimes you lose kind of that woodwork on the inside that we have in a lot of the homes. And you
My
can-
buddy Justin just bought in the library section. It kind of feels like a Tudor, and it's really unique inside, like very unique.
Yeah.
The basement, these little doors, still a wide hallways
Yeah.
and decently
Yeah.
high ceilings,
Yeah.
and super unique. A lot of people, especially now with having this migration, they would potentially knock down that house.
Yeah.
Which is
Absolutely.
beautiful, and
Yeah.
it was not.
Yeah, and that craftsmanship that's in that
Yeah,
home.
it's cool.
Oh, it's incredible.
Like I think the best part of the job is like when you go out, you get a call, you go out on it, and it's like a total renovate. Like we need the windows, we need the siding, we want doors, we want a big deck in the back. That's like the cream of the like we get excited.
Yeah.
Because we
Yeah.
get to we're gonna analyze it. We're gonna see if there's some character in the house, see what's structural that can stay, and see what kind of needs to be rebuilt, and then we're designing with them. Like, what are you going for? What type of look?
Yeah.
You have a colonial house here. You want to stick with the colonial house, or you like a modern look? Because then
Yeah,
we're
you wanna
gonna
put some peaks
we're gonna
on it.
put
You
some
wanna-
extra curvature in there. We're gonna
I watch a lot
exaggerate
of
the
Chip
roof lines.
and Joanna Gaines.
Yeah.
Dude. I know how to build a house.
Right, yeah. But then,
we
but
get
like
that
they
enough.
get to keep it,
Yeah.
but
Get
we
that enough.
just like redesigned that look on the outside.
It's
Like,
awesome.
We did this one on the water, and we did it a year ago. I'm still watching the video. Just go back on my phone. I'm just watching it because it's like, wow.
I like that you said that because
It's so
it is-
nice.
Obviously, from a business standpoint, you're like, oh, that's a great job to get. But it's like, all right, we're doing it like the best possible way. They have it in their budget to really,
To do it
go
right,
over
you're not
the top
cutting
and
corners.
really,
Yeah.
don't cut corners. They want it done the right way. They have the budget for it, and you can really see how everything just comes to life by doing
And they
it
need that.
doing
they
it all
need
at once.
guidance. Like they're gonna give you maybe a color, and then what type of material. Like I want some vinyl siding. I
Yeah,
don't
they
want-
know nothing beyond that.
Right,
Really.
and we're gonna say, all right, do PVC around the trim work. Do Trex Transcend deck because you want parties. I heard cocktails. I'm gonna put. you're gonna have a lot of foot
Yeah.
traffic. You gotta guide them in what they want, but then. They're going to give you some ideas, and that comes with like you need that knowledge, product wise. You need that
understanding
knowledge.
it.
What type of colors go together and clash? What's going to last? What are they using it for? These are things that you want to ask them, and then like help them. That's what we do as a company, and we're feed off each other. I'll call Anthony.
Yeah.
He knows the doors. We're going with this modern look. Let's look for a modern door that's going to go with that. And he puts it together. We get some AutoCAD up, and we
Yeah, you
redesign it
guys
for him.
have a cool little system. We had coffee the other day, and was like, just pop by. Tell me what you think this is going to cost me. And he sends me this 3D rendering. I send it to Kelly. I'm like, should we do it? This looks sweet.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah,
That's
this is
it.
such a marketing tool.
press
for
the
you.
Hold on, yeah, order it. It'll come in a 2x12 box, and that's it. There's your house.
Like that 3D rendering, whatever it's called, AutoCAD. Is that what it is, or what's the
That's just a type of
probably Hover. Actually,
Hover
is-
would
is
be
what-
the platform,
what
yeah. But
we do.
AutoCAD's a type of 3D modeling. you know.
But see that right there. You know, a lot of times in my business, I have to show people the visual. I have to walk them through a discovery
Absolutely.
process. So if I
Yep.
just talk to them, you know, it doesn't mean they lack intelligence, but
Yeah.
they may be a brain surgeon.
It's
They
not
don't
their
build.
world.
They don't
Right,
build homes,
yeah.
or they don't do taxes, or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So in your world, to be able to send something like that and say, "Hey, this is what I'm visualizing for you based on kind of what you told me you want to do," and they're either like,
Yeah, they'll
Or
tweak
they're like,
it. Yeah, no, but
Yeah.
and they're maybe in between, and you're like, all right, so let's take what you like and let's renovate what you don't like.
"Yeah, it's cool."
And get somewhere. You know,
Yeah.
take the time with it. We take the time with every customer. It's not like hit or miss. This is what we do. This is what we want. We offer our services and intelligence on you know our products and how we build and you know inform them.
I would-
kind of guide them. Yeah.
I'm making a suggestion before I even ask you, but I would market more Three Brothers. I'd market that somehow. I'd find some type of lateral marketing, and you know, Three Brothers, or a good dude, raised in a Christian home, 12 kids. You know, you guys have children yourself. You'll be there soon. Like people want to do business with family-owned businesses and Three Brothers, and you guys are
Yeah.
three good
Yeah.
dudes.
Yeah.
And that leads me to my next question. What are you guys doing to drive marketing? I see someone's messing with the social media all the time, and I think
Ken
that's
all
loves it.
Ken.
He-
yeah, but that's important.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
that helped
I
us
hated it.
significantly. Yeah.
That was my job when I was in college, and
That's your
the
personality. Though.
worst.
You're more in the
That's
numbers.
Exactly.
That's all right.
Exactly my personality. And Kenny's taken it over and done a great job, way better than I could ever imagine it.
That
And,
drives so much traffic, you
um,
don't even realize.
Yeah, it's
It does
awesome.
help for references to things. You're on a estimate and you're just like you're trying to describe something, and for that you're speaking in a different language when you're
You're like, let
trying
me
to
know my
describe
IG
it.
here.
Yeah, no, it's so easy.
That's
It's
straight
like-
out with the iPad.
You're just like, oh, we
Yeah.
just did something just like what I was talking about. Like,
Yeah.
let me show you some pictures, or let me show you a video.
Yeah.
And that's
Um,
how we met. We met because Phil
yeah,
Patillo
100%.
was on, and
Yeah.
you ended up following me
Yeah.
after, and I saw your page, and
Yep.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
What other verticals in the marketing lanes are you trying to run?
I mean, our philosophy has kind of been what we've been talking about more is the goal for our company should really to be less. I mean, print advertising is important and things like that, but we really want to be focused and driven on our reputation and how we treat people.
Referral base only?
That's our
That's huge.
advertising.
Not only.
Yeah,
not
not
that word
only.
only. Significantly.
Yeah.
Because that means if you do good work, you get good work.
Yeah.
And so that needs to be where it starts.
But other people need to know that you do good work that aren't
100%.
within reach.
I
of
just
them.
don't want to ever
that's
have the
where-
mentality where we have to dump all this money into marketing.
So today, don't. I think that's a deductive mindset and a scarcity mindset. Not that you have it, but I
Yeah.
think that happens to a lot of people. So, for example, today, Coronado, he does prep meals. Big bodybuilder, good dude. Him and his wife own Coronado's Kitchen.
I've been in there a couple times.
Similar to Eat Clean Bro on a smaller
Yeah.
scale, but just really good people. And I stop in there today, pick up some meals, and I'm like, dude, how's business been? And he's always been rocking. He doesn't have enough cooks. He's like, I did this little magazine. I did this front cover. It was Brick and Tom's River.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it took on a ton of different business. He goes, but it was a completely different segment than I've been dealing with. He's dealing with somebody who's 55 to 75.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're not really good on social media. I don't know
Yep.
about
Yeah.
your guys' parents, but my dad, he's posting weird things. He doesn't even know what he's posting. My mom thinks she
My
knows
dad's
that
Supposed to be
on
Facebook
texting
is
to
Facebook
somebody
blurry.
else. You said, "Oh man."
No, but that's so true. And just to give an example, like because we live in a area, Ocean Monmouth County, where you have a lot of like 55 plus and stuff like that in
A
those
lot of
communities.
Yeah.
So exactly, social media, that's not gonna
Yeah, it goes out the
reach
window
them.
with those people.
We do a decent amount of advertising in those sections.
We do some print as
yeah.
well.
But
What
it's-
type of print?
it's
Give me a
kinda
little bit more juice.
magazine, the local.
you want names? I don't
No,
know. Are we
no,
allowed to
like,
say names?
like you're doing.
It's kind of more just the mentality
small
that
little
I mean, even
magazines,
mail outs.
newspapers.
Some
Like, we're even
direct
doing some
mail
mail-outs, so-
type
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
magazines, and that's been scaled back significantly because our ROI on those, I run those numbers. I'm the numbers guy apparently. I'm the nerd.
You need to know those numbers.
But you know, they were lower and lower each year, and so what I did is I took that money in the advertising budget, and I put them more towards digital. And so, you know, we are going to be putting more and more money into the digital side of things, not necessarily getting rid of print still, because, you know, like, we don't have the phone book anymore, but, you know, it's like people want to pick up, and if there's a need, that's a good lead, right? Because you have an immediate need, you might pick that up, thumb through it, and you're like, yeah, this is designed for home improvement, and that's what I'm in the market for. You know, that's a certain demographic that's going to do that. And
maybe and listen, the future is continuously social media, because the older generation
Absolutely.
is going to get older, and you want to be with people your age.
The internet is eventually, it's like you don't need print anymore. I don't think we're there yet, and that's why we're still in it. And we are seeing good returns on that. There's investment there. But I would say I started that probably like 5 years ago, that migration from print media to digital media.
And what do you mean by digital, right? Another small contractor trying to get started.
Yeah.
You know, they want to give these nuggets.
So,
trying to steal your info.
All right, small contractor. I mean, Facebook and Instagram is probably where you got to start.
And you're running ads.
So social media is where you got to start, and you don't even need to. The ads. I mean, for what you get for those ads, I think that's a great small buy. And then you gotta do some actual advertising as well.
You got a guy like Evan who comes out to these beautiful places you're doing and videoing it and chopping it up and making it look pretty.
You haven't been watching my videos, bro.
Yeah, you got to see some of our videos.
So my sister-in-law is a professional wedding photographer. I mean, videographer, not photographer.
Cinema.
But she comes out to a lot of our jobs, and she does awesome editing. I mean, you're in the business, so you know. But
I've seen all
she kills it. Yeah.
I see your stories.
So we
man,
just
not
keep
your
on
posts.
doing more and more of that. And she's doing an awesome job.
Yeah,
at
you
that.
should look at some of the
That's
videos.
awesome.
They're
I wish we
really-
had the
Check it out
budget.
tonight.
I'd
They're
bring her
great.
on like full time.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
That's cool, dude.
That would be sweet.
So that's where your marketing lanes are, and
Yeah.
that's what you guys are doing. That's cool. So another thing I like to do on this show is really talk about some other local business owners. You know, as we kind of bring the show to an end. This is all about spotlighting people who are local business owners like you guys. You're three brothers, bought it from your dad, from Toms River, offices right in Brick. You're doing a ton of business here locally. Each of you, give me a business owner in the area that you really want to shine some light on, and we'll tag them, and you guys can tag them and share this up when this goes.
Yeah, I mean, so we all have worked at Duraplex since we were born, since we could swing a hammer,
Yeah.
And right down the street from us, we're located on Route 88 in Brick, right diagonal from the hospital. Right down the road, since I've known, ever working there, walking there every day for lunch would be Jovo's. It's a deli.
Yeah.
Family owned and operated. They all work there. Wonderful family. They have probably the best pork roll, egg, and cheese sandwich that
With the
I've
hash
ever
brown on it.
With the hash
yes,
brown.
with the
Did
hash
the pork
brown.
egg and cheese guy say this? That's on Instagram. What's his name? You know him.
Who's this?
I think he's been there.
He's been there. All right.
If not, he's got to go then. He's got to get this. He's got to get the
I think
Jovo
he's
gotta get
special
it.
pork
I
roll, egg,
mean,
and cheese.
It's decadent, but with the hash brown on top.
Oh, woo! Yeah, and
That's not good for 75 hard.
I can eat it. I'll do it for lunch and dinner.
You get the metabolism. You could probably do it.
It's like a once a year kind of thing.
Now, Ken, I mean, I'm gonna take this away from you, so you don't got to deal with it. But you worked for Matt and John, I think it is,
Yeah,
right?
yep, John Helm.
You work for them. They have, you said, in the 40s now of Jersey Mike's.
Yeah.
And when I met Matt the other night, he only sang your praises. They had big plans for you, and
Yeah.
they didn't, they weren't shocked that you wanted to go out and run a business with your brothers.
Yeah.
So we don't have to put Jersey Mike's out there as yours unless you want to.
No,
Give me another one.
John and Matt are amazing guys. I mean, if you want to see a success story and mimic greatness, I mean, those are the two guys.
I told him the other night he's got to
Yeah.
get on Fireside.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I told him.
My in-laws restaurant has been around for a really long time. Pisces Seafood
Spicy
in Toms
seafood.
River.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Awesome food. My father-in-law is actually the chef.
Where is that located in Toms River?
That's right across the street from Aqua Blue.
Aqua Blue. All right. Yeah.
And Xena.
China.
Sheena, some people say. And then, just to kind of go a little bit off topic here, we never really got to talk about it, and you have never even, I've never even brought it up to you either, but something a little bit more closer to our hearts. We had a brother 2 years ago that passed away.
Sorry to hear that.
And it was very sudden. And we decided, and I just want to talk about this because
Yeah, run with it, dude.
it kind of stands behind the testament of what we're trying to do in this business, and it's not just about money and all
You're
the things that
altruistic.
come with it.
Yeah.
We want to help change people's lives, and what my brother battled through, we want to help those people. And so actually, we just decided this couple of weeks ago, we're going to team up with America's Keswick. So they help people in addiction recovery. And we're going to be donating a portion of sales for the month of March. He passed away March 16th, 2020. So we're going to be dedicating that month. So if you don't even have to be a Duraplex customer just to donate to that cause. But we're going to be making a memorial fund for him. And that's one of our big goals that we set out this year. So I know that's really off topic.
No, that's actually on
but
topic.
I wanted to honor him. And he did work for my dad for a very long time. He was actually top salesman for a very year after year. And just the way he touched people and going out, just starting at Duraplex, going out to leads and things like that, and hearing them asking about my brother and things like that, and just how much the customer enjoyed just talking with him and those things. And his name is
He
Robert.
has such a legacy within Duraplex.
Yeah, you don't really hear I'd invite the salesman over to dinner, right? Like he did
Sit
my
down and have
kitchen.
a glass of wine.
I want to have him over for dinner.
Yeah, he built that rapport.
And that's kind of where he was, and that's what we strive for. We certainly fall short there, but that's something that we wanted to set up for in honor of him. And
let me know the link when you guys do that.
Yeah, we're going to be doing that every single year.
Yeah, I'll share
forever.
it. Yeah, I'll share it throughout all my social media and ask some of my friends as well, and I'll also send a donation over myself. That's a good one, and that wasn't off topic at all. I actually, and now that you did it, you kind of sparked this in me. We do talk about charities a lot and being charitable. I try to get involved in all the local booster clubs. I have for years. My partner, he gets credit on that too. We're no longer business partners, but he was always involved in doing that as well. I think community is important. Things like that. I think the country has struggled with addiction. People very close to me in my personal family have struggled with addiction. So that's something that's all around us. And kudos to you guys for stepping up and trying to remember your brother in a positive light for all the good that he did bring and helping people fight that addiction. So I like that one a lot. So now we got
Third
one
business.
more.
I'm gonna go with J&M Flooring. Actually, they're in Brick, right by the Ocean Lanes there. Very similar story to us. Darren, myself, and Kenny, went to high school with him. He took over his dad's business. Been around for a long time.
How old is he?
20.
He's in between us.
I think he just turned 28.
Yeah.
28. And is he a Brick guy, Toms River guy?
He lives
from
in
where,
Toms
Tom?
River.
Yeah. Now. Yeah.
Yeah, he took over his grandfather's business.
Yeah. So that would be
He
the
was there
third
for a long time.
generation for him.
Wow.
Yeah. Very
great.
hardworking guy.
I'm pretty sure I've seen that truck around.
You probably have, yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Yellow
right
and
on
green.
the border.
I mean, it looks like it's been around a long time.
Yeah.
Probably needs to update his
retro
logo.
colors like our original ones.
Yeah, our bright red and yellow.
Kenny's got to take him over there, the social media guru. Help him out with his logo.
No, I'm nothing.
You know, another question I like to bring up is, again, this is about providing value everywhere, right? We just went back to the gun defense guys range Tuesday, and we shot film for free. This show is about adding fucking value. And I'm not going to stop adding value until I help a ton of people take their small businesses to the highest of levels that they want to, or inspire a ton of new business owners. Because in my book, what's going on in this world, it's the elitists trying to shrink out the middle class.
Yep.
And the way that you beat them is not through just talking shit, but it's helping more business owners extract that wealth from them.
Yeah.
And I'm passionate about it. So the other question I like to pose is, and a nugget I want you guys to drop is, what's something? It could be a passion, it could be something that fires you, it could be a line, it could be, you know, anything. What's something you would say to the young person that may watch this next week and help them get into business or help them take their small business to the next level?
So I am young. I count myself as young, but
Yeah.
still chasing it. Like, you know, not like you're too young. You're never
Yeah.
too young for anything. But I'd saying is never be afraid to say I don't know, because you can find that answer. You say I don't know, because I've been on a lot of leads. You know, first coming in here, like, ask me a question about what did your dad do in this scenario 25 years ago, or how did he think, or what was the business model? I'm not gonna just make up on the spot or start stuttering. Like, there's some things that I don't know.
Yeah, that's okay.
And it's okay. You just relay that to, or even to yourself. You don't have all the answers. I don't know is okay, but finding those answers and confronting that and getting an answer for it is where you're going to take yourself where you need to be.
Yeah, no,
That's where it's taken for me. I don't know a lot of things, but I will find the answer, and I'm gonna chase the
and
answer.
I'll go get my resources,
and
and
I'll
figure
get
it
back
out.
to you when I have it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's always a good thing. Ken, what about you?
If you're gonna try to combat the elitists and all those things and support your friends and their businesses and those things, support them. Stop expecting discounts. Stop trying to get things for free. Be the friend that wants to pay full price.
Are you saying you're mad at
And-
me because I'm going to get you $10 and I'm going to discount on my
No,
siding?
I
but
think
you
that's
know
a
what I
personal
mean.
dig.
Like,
Yeah, I think he was coming at me.
you have to have the mentality that you want to help the next guy.
Yeah.
And that's how you're going to help them.
Yeah, I'm a big believer. That's what this whole passion
Yeah.
project
Yeah.
started about.
Yeah.
And you know, but as a business owner, what is something that drives you, Kenny? What personally? What's your purpose in business?
I think it goes back to when I was talking about my brother. If you're not gonna, and hitting a little bit on Jersey Mike's too, because you were so involved hands-on as a manager, and you get, you know, you're with that person for whatever it is, 8, 10, 12 hours for the day. They're talking to you about life, whatever it is. If you're not helping other people and impacting their lives, and you're just going in there and clocking in, trying to make a living, feeding your family, you're really
It's kind of a sad life
just
to
letting
live.
your life waste away. At the end of the day, if you're not impacting people and helping them to get to that next spot, and I'm not talking about raises and money in a you know, monetary way, but as being a better person, then yeah, you're really just running that kind of rat race, I guess you could say, and
I've been dripping
chasing
this.
a paycheck.
I've been dripping this out, and it will come probably at the end of this month. But we're going to be launching coaching. I'm a board of advisors.
Nice.
Guys like Jamie from Eat Clean Bro, AJ from Thrive,
Yeah.
Phil Vitilla from Diversified Fixtures, guys that are doing 7 figures in their business already that are all good dudes, right?
Yep.
I'm a little cold because of how I was raised and things that put a chip on my shoulder, but my heart is gold, right? So when you talk about something like that impacting people, that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
Right? Everything that I'm trying to do here is impacting people, and at the same time, you can help people go obtain that lifestyle they want to live. Because it's easy to say, hey, we're just going to impact people. I can be a missionary and impact people all day long, but they still have no damn food after I leave.
Exactly.
Right? It takes money, and I take a little offense to that sometimes when people talk like that, because it takes fucking money.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you pay your mortgage for $2,000 a month. I pay my mortgage for $3,000 a month. If we don't have money coming in, you're not making money. So we need to help people make money. We need to help people, give them guidance.
One of the biggest things, because even going to a Christian college, sometimes, even
Which one did you go to?
Cairn University.
What is it?
Langhorne. Cairn.
Langhorne.
C-A-R-N. You know, you bring up money, it's just like, and I had a professor that
Joel
just
Osteen's pretty rich.
That's false teaching. But I had a professor that brought up one day, and I'm in a business class, and it like blew my mind because I was like, no one's ever said that before, but it makes so much sense. And he's like, God put me on this earth to make as much money as possible. And then everyone's like, what do you mean?
Yeah, because you can impact more people.
But yeah, he fully supports 8 missionaries, their entire salary. He fully funds a radio station and like so many other things. And I was just like, wow, like, yeah, God gave you the gift of running all these businesses and making a lot of money, and you're doing the right thing of what He's blessed you with.
It's not greed. It's not. It's not taking it the wrong way.
If you're doing the right thing of what God's blessed you with in your life, you're succeeding.
There's a book, and Chris Egger actually gave it to me, and he'll be there tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's No Surrender, and what he talks about is making money and how you do the right things with making money, and how, again, it has that negative stigma around it. Dude, everything I've done is never about Ryan being flashy. I don't have a super fancy car in my driveway.
Yeah.
I don't have a super fancy vacation home. It's been all about providing the financial freedom for my family, and then being able to help other people. Most people don't know Evan's been good to me, because if this thing monetizes other ways down the road and we continue to blow up because we are adding value to people, he's going to take part in that as a partnership in some form or fashion. But this costs me money every week. I don't make no money. You're not clients of mine. Some people are that came on this show, but this costs me to pay Evan to do this and to run things for the social media. So if I'm not making money, how am I impacting people? How are somebody hearing your story, or that kind thing you just said about your brother, or talking about the Christian college or your professor? They're not hearing it if someone doesn't have money. So I just caution people at times that are look at money in a negative way, because when the good people have it, I believe that they're doing very good things with it.
100%.
So your line.
Anthony cheated. He had 10 minutes to think.
Yeah.
But you took all the good ones.
You got to give me 3 now.
No, I mean, I actually, and this is honestly something that I learned from Ken. He's kind of like all the pearls of wisdom here. Is similar to
he went
his.
to a better Christian college than you.
That is true. His team never won a soccer game.
We learned so much more in defeat. It's specifically for business owners now. When you're building your team, you also have to invest in your team. So, we're in this to make money. Past conversation that we just had. Yes, the goal is still at the end of the day, you need to make money. Otherwise, what are you doing? But also your employees, as they grow, you grow. Without your employees, you're just an owner that has bills.
And you guys seem like you have a great relationship with all your subcontractors.
I'm like, let's pay him more. Anthony's like,
I'm usually the one that's like,
well, he's the numbers guy. He's sitting there.
How are we gonna?
He's just going to work.
You can thank John and Matt for that though, because I'd be like, I think they should get a raise in like 2 weeks. So like, give it to him now. I'm like, I'm like, give him to him now.
But they deserve it. And so you reward good work, and then that's your reputation. You pay your employees well because they're doing well. They're carrying your reputation. They're saying, this guy's got my back. He respects the work that I'm doing. I care about my work now more. And so
they feel valued.
They feel valued. And that's not.
But they are valued.
Absolutely. That's what I mean. You have to let them know.
I mean, you can bring up, like, our workplace environment is, like, so, and I'm not going to say family, because you should just run from any company that's just like, we're all family. It's way too cliche. But, like, just the last couple of days, like, with one of our workers, like, she ran into, like, some crazy bind with her 3-year-old son not being able to go to daycare or whatever, and we like make it work, like whatever.
Bring him in.
We're not going to be like, exactly.
I played with them.
In today's day and age, going back to the social media thing, it's all about I look cool, I look big, right? So I haven't done my interview, and I'm going to talk more in detail about my life and some of these things that drive me, but I do drip these things out. Part of me doing this with Evan was perfectly aimed at about 3 to 5 people in my head that I'll never say who it is that were utilizing social media wrong, because it was about their attention. It was about greed.
Yeah.
And it gives me a barometer to go chase and fucking beat and show them that you could do it right. Everything is a long-term vision. You want to be in business for a long time. You want to have good subcontractors work for you a long time. You want to have good employees. You have to treat them well, and you have to make sure that they're progressing as you're progressing,
Yeah.
or they all just end up leaving you, or
Absolutely.
your people who are customers end up leaving you. Right? You're gouging them with prices that
Yeah.
you know that are going above and beyond. Obviously, you guys have price increases in product, but you know, you're 50% higher than the next guy, and they find that out. You know, they may only do one job with you, if not any job.
Yeah.
So it's always kind of looking at that long-term vision and trying to do the right thing. And a lot of business owners think, well, I'm shrewd. You know, I'm a business owner. It's a business decision.
Yeah.
No, it's actually not. It's impacting someone's personal life. So if you can try to help them, you know, and my business partner and I think he would say this, I built him kind of a bridge off of what we were doing and a bridge onto another marketing lane that helped him continue to make money and feed his family. That was something that I worried about. So I like what you said there, and
Yeah.
this has all been
That's a
good.
good point. Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to say before we wrap it up?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you having
You
us.
got all our
Yeah,
secrets
thanks,
now.
Dude, I love it. I
Don't
love
tell
it.
anybody.
Now off camera, we got the questions for you.
Hit me. A lot of people got a lot of questions. They're going to get it soon. Guys, thank you. Three brothers,
Thanks,
I wish
Ryan.
you all success. You're going to continue to do well, and even if things slightly pull back, you guys will find a way, and you'll learn through some of your dad's mistakes, and I think your business is going to kill it.
Yeah.
And I'm here to support you. And Kenny, I'll pay full price. Jesus Christ, you're making me feel bad.
I think you have to pay over now.
Yeah, now I got to go over. All right, guys, thank you for coming.
Thanks,
bro,
Ryan.
we appreciate it.